Good morning, good day, good afternoon, evening, night, whatever it is. Hopefully, you're enjoying your day and moment. Today, I'm back on the boat, as everybody can tell, and I thought I'd just give you a little panoramic view just because it's such a beautiful, I guess it's late morning here. Chilly, chilly, chilly. This is San Diego, California. This is the Coronado Cays, and this is the beautiful view. The sun rises right over there every morning, and so that'll give you a direction of east, and that's out towards the city of San Diego, out that direction. And today I do a lot of videos from right in that position. Mr. Leaf Blower's been out, and barking dog over here next door. Sweet little dog, actually. But we don't really need him in the video today. Those of you who kind of know this area, that right there, you can't see it because there's fog and whatnot over that way. That is Mexico, literally, right over in that direction. Not literally, but 5-10 miles that direction is Mexico. Okay, guys, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about tariffs, inflation, and all those wonderful little things that everybody is talking about. And for some reason, nobody wants to get into actually what the pluses are of all of that. So today's video is going to be, hello, there you are. Today's video is going to be a lot repetitive in some ways for some of you, but in some other ways, this will be a whole brand new direction. What's happening right now with tariffs? Everybody's panicked. It's going to raise prices across the board by 25%, maybe 50%. Allan, this is, he doesn't know what he's doing. This is absurd. Our nation's done this. Our nation did this 200 years ago, 100 years ago. We have a history of this. Anybody that looks into the history of economics understands what he's about to do. The whole and only reason that we don't have tariffs to the degree that we do, okay, is because when this nation exploded, now this video is very US centric, okay, so just put that in your vision and thinking cap as you're listening to this. Even Biden didn't overturn the tariffs that Trump laid down 4 years ago. Interesting, right? Because it's extra money for them. But the thing about what's happened over the last 50 years in particular is global elites, if you will, just lack of a better term, wanted U.S. to be distributed fairly around the world, okay? If you call that fair. Really what it was is this economic boom that happened with my parents, my grandparents, was an industrial revolution that this nation was a big part of. Well, what they saw was we could export all of those jobs pretty much since the late 70s, early 80s. We exported all those jobs for profits for globalists, in particular European regimes. City of London comes to mind, and many other people that the players involved. All of that has been a globalist agenda, okay? Well, the thing they have never been able to duplicate in many other nations, China tried, and they're trying very hard right now, is to get the spender mentality. Economic movement of money is velocity. You need velocity in the world, okay? And I tell the story about the guy that spent the $100 bills and it just traveled around the same town, and everybody spent the same $100 bill 6 times in one day, yet it never left the town, and it still was only $100 bill, and 6 different people got to spend the same bill, and then at the end of the day, he had the same $100 bill. That's the velocity of money. Wrap your head around that for a minute. So when you can use the velocity of money within your own nation, just like that little community did. Those of you that don't know the story, look it up, or I could tell it better in the future. If you put a comment down below, I will. I'll do something more on it. But If you keep the velocity of the dollars churning within your own country, okay, you create an economic might. Most nations can't do that because most nations don't have the purchasing power that the US has, the mentality of the people. Look at China. They are more frugal with their money. That's changing. However, they're in an economic downturn right now to the point where they're really not a big player in the consumption world right now. They are, but they're not leading the way. Russia, same thing. Russian citizens are very conservative by nature. Now, I know that's changed a lot. I don't know a lot about Russian culture, so I'm not going to say, but I'm guessing that a lot of those old school mentality, depressionary feelings are still around because they only just changed in 1991, right? So they still have that mentality. A lot like my grandparents did back from the 30s, 20s, and whatnot. They had all that Great Depression they had to go through. So they're less of a spendthrift, if you know what I mean. They're less wanting to rack up credit card debt and the rest of it. This country is very good at that, okay? That's a skill that industrialized nations need. We need somebody to buy the things our employment creates, okay? So China doesn't really have it. Russia doesn't really have it. India really doesn't have it. Most of Asia doesn't really have it. Sure, there's places, Hong Kong and Singapore and whatnot, that do a pretty good job of that kind of thing. But most of Central America, South America, Brazil's getting better, as we know. But the point I'm trying to make is the economic desire for things, goods, most of it junk, useless, but it's economic commerce. And that is what all the other countries need is, well, those Americans will buy anything attitude. I'll make this and sell it to Americans. It's sort of like if you have a great product, the first place that you would like your great product to go to is in America is somewhere like Costco. Because boom, all of a sudden it's in front of everybody and they assume it's a decent price, and you could make one company off one widget just getting in the door of Costco. It's sort of the same way with all these nations around the world. They want to sell their goods in America because Americans buy foreign goods. Americans haven't been able to really spend as much as they wanted to in the last 2 or 3 years, so we've wound this up, right? It's tight. People need to replace the lawn furniture or whatever it might be, right? Barbecues rotted out. All that money that they spent in 2020 is now looking for a new opportunity to get money in their pocket and spend it. So let's get back to the tariffs. So, okay, so China has to pay a tariff. Where does that money go? That goes to our US Treasury. Is that a good thing? Yes. Finally, we have a businessman who starts to say, well, what's our bottom line? What do we have to cut? What can we afford? What can we not afford? As Americans, not as globalists. Doesn't matter what you think of the man. This is truly an economic experiment that he's trying. Will it fail? Maybe. Will it succeed? If it succeeds, the lifestyle of Americans is about to blow up. It's about to change the way you live. Just go look back at the economic histories of the 1850s and on, all the way up till the creation of the Federal Reserve. Americans had one of the greatest lifestyles in anybody in the world. Okay, there were deflationary times. So how is a nation that just consumes things, okay, a service debt-based society, going to be able to pull this off? We have all this debt and all this rest of this out. The difference between most nations, that economic desire machine that I've discussed, they don't have. They can't get their people to part with the money in their wallet. Therefore, they don't have the velocity. You have to have velocity to create a stronger economy. Well, now we have that. We're going to have that through this tariff is going to charge these people to sell their goods in this country. That percentage that is going to raise the price of every good that you buy, okay? Clearly it will in the beginning. It's going to raise that price. But what does that allow you to do? When the money goes into all those hundreds of billions of dollars, if not trillions of dollars, go into your treasury, that means that they're going to be able to lower your taxes that same percentage. So now your taxes go down. What happens when you don't have to work all the way up until the month of May to pay your taxes every year? How absurd is that? What if you only had to work up until February? What if you only had to work for the man of the system like 30 days out of your whole 12 months? That gives you 3 extra months of income, non-taxable income, that you can spend on lawn furniture. It's pretty simple math, right? But the only way a nation can actually truly pull this off with a debt service-based economy is to have natural reserves. And you must have that. Since you don't create the goods, you have to buy the goods, you have to charge the tax, the tariffs, which allows the tax burden to go down, but you have to be able to sustain other areas or reduce inflation. How are you going to do that? That's his big question mark. Well, spending creates what? The ability to purchase more. More people, more commerce, more movement, more velocity. Everybody spends more, creates more, employment comes up, all the rest of it. It's a glove in hand deal. It works perfectly together. So, natural resources of this nation, I'm only speaking of America, pretty much Canada and Mexico as well, but they are resource rich. In particular, the most important one for inflation is oil and natural gas. What they're doing today with natural gas would blow your mind technologically. They're almost eliminating the use case for crude oil with natural gas products. Look it up. It's incredible. We have enough natural gas to last 1,000 years. Okay? We have a lot of oil too. North America alone has enough oil to supply the world for a very long time, which allows technology to catch up to the point where we don't need to burn all those fuels. I get all that. But the point of the matter is, you're about to see prosperity in the bottom line. Why? How does inflation go down, Alan? It doesn't make any sense. Well, yeah. What happens when you pump and drill, baby, drill? Price of all fuel goes down. What does everything you own purchase? Every American, every citizen in the world purchases something. It had to get to them through oil, whether it be jet fuel, ship fuel, or diesel mostly, to get it to your door, or gasoline to your door. If you can drastically reduce the price of gasoline and diesel in North America, I'm going to say cut it in half, okay? I don't know why the previous regime didn't believe in doing that. It is not a green issue in this man's opinion. You can come up with your own numbers and tell me why it is, but what I'm saying is I think it was a globalist agenda that absolutely did not help the little guy. It simply did not. First thing Biden did, first day, and he eliminated the pipeline. Well, we need that oil. Clearly, we needed that oil because inflation went through the roof. Why? Mainly because of fuel prices. I would drive across the United States, and I remember when Texas was $1 a gallon. Now it's $2.50. Like, what happened? What happened? Why isn't it $1 a gallon again? We're more efficient at taking it out of the ground. We're better at pulling out of the ground. We're doing most of it with AI and robotics anymore. All of it's become cheaper to pull out of the ground, and yet you and I are paying more to pump. It's useless, frivolous, red tape taxation, which is exactly why Elon's involved. And all of this is going to bring the price of everything that's been moved on a truck down. Your carrots, your eggs, your meat, all of that is going to go down in price. This is going to help your inflation. China wants to spend or charge, they have to pay, they don't want to, they have to pay this tariff. Well, this tariff, I just told you, if your taxes reduce and your cost of goods go down, and cost of oil, your transportation, and everything that you do in your life, trust me, is involved in one manner or another as to your oil consumption. One manner or another. I know this is a broad view of what's happening, but now I'm going to relate to all of that as what it means to crypto. When you create prosperity in this world, in any way you do it, any avenue, whether it be real estate, whether it be oil, whether it be electricity, or any industrial product like that, or let's just say a sporting event, any of these things, they have a cost value. And that cost value can either rise or go down. But if you look around the world today, all the cost value of everything, to attend a football game, a basketball game, a rugby match, all of it has gone through the roof. It's like high-level expensive entertainment now. What hasn't gone through the roof yet? You look around, everything's gone through the roof. Inflation has hit all things terribly. So where can you hide the creation of more money, creation of more profitability into the pockets of people and benefit their lives? And you can bring the poor into the middle class and bring the middle class into the upper class. How do you do that with a product? You can't do it with tariffs, although you can reduce their taxes. It will encourage people to spend more. How you can do that is with technology. And that technology makes things cheaper and people's lives better. It enables the dollar, or the value of a dollar, or the value of the money, or the value of the crypto that you have to retain its value or go up in value. And when things retain its value, that's deflationary. Okay? You're creating a new bubble in a brand new product to soak up all those trillions of dollars that are going to be coming back to America, because it's printed all these trillions of dollars and it's pushed them out overseas. And all of those are going to be coming screaming back to America, because the prosperity of America is going to be the place to invest. This is why he's chosen to put a flag, an American flag, stand into American crypto companies. He wants them to be the new FANG, the new Microsofts. All of the top 10, I've been talking about it for years on this channel, guys. The top 10 coins, and XRP is right smack in the middle of it. So is Bitcoin, so is Ethereum, and I know, and Cardano. All of these American-made products are going to be encouraged. Then they're going to be the new Silicon Valley angle, the new tech angle. It's going to be the new place for the little man to buy a few coins that are deflationary. In other words, they go up in value to the cost of all other goods. You can save an entire nation, or anybody who's smart enough to grow a brain and figure out this is what they should be purchasing for the betterment and the future of their families. I know that all of you already know all that, and I know that you and I have our bags packed for this whole event. This is the best time to be in technologies, number one. This is just baby steps right now. This is it. But the beginning of all booms is that accelerated movement of value. And that value is the key word. We have not had value in a long time. Yes, does real estate going up create value? Yes, it sort of does. It's terrible value to anybody who's coming out of university or young person trying to start off a family. It's terrible against them. It does them no good. It's a detriment. They almost price themselves out of being able to find a place to live. Crypto doesn't do that. Crypto doesn't have that. The inflationary price of the coin in which you own does not harm anybody. There's no harm here. And that the brilliance of that network value is that everybody can afford them. Everybody can pile in. And I know everybody, oh, Bitcoin's $100,000. Buy a Satoshi. It's pennies, not even pennies. You can own 1 million Satoshis for $1,000. You might want to own those. I'm just saying, if you got $1,000 laying around, because I already know your bag's packed with XRP. Let's just, who's kidding who around here? Smart move, by the way. That system is going to make everything cheaper. Banking, as we all know, B of A, we've heard about B of A for years now, but now they're coming out. Now they're coming out and going, well, this looks like this case is over, and it looks like legislation's coming. It looks like they're going to, we're the smart guys in the room. We already got all the crypto figured out. We're those guys. You can believe in us again. Now all of a sudden, B of A gets to take a leap forward in technology to surpass the other banks in America and actually look like a leader, because trust me, they need it. Their bottom line is horrible. B of A is broke. They need to do this. And they're going to be able to exchange all the money around the world for virtually free using XRP. I know everybody already watching this video already understands all of that. Anyway, it's a beautiful day here on the boat, and I thought I'd go over, because I heard a lot of people ask me, well, it's going to be inflationary, Alan. Inflation's going through the roof, and it's going to crush all my crypto profits. No, quite the opposite. Your crypto is going to go up as a ways of security, a ways of deflation, okay, which is what real estate has been for all these years, and an avenue for the poor to become middle. This is not hard to teach. You and I understand it. You and I understand how important XRP is, and it's not expensive. People can afford it on a 9-to-5 salary. They just need a few of these, and it's going to change their lives over the next years, and you and I already know that. Okay, guys, with that, I have got to get out of here. I got to get back to work and being a captain. No, this is not my boat. I work for a very incredible family, and it's a beautiful place in the world. And when I spend time here, I'm always inspired to get back with my people and I have great thoughts. I'm really here alone, so I get to really think about what's going to be best for you and I and our futures going forward. And I'm really excited about where we stand. So now I'm off to get a haircut and get rid of this mop. Hey, too much information. Love you guys. I hope you're all well, and I will be back soon. I'm out.